Hi, I'm Matthew Royer.
And I'm Benjamin Royer, and we're from Twinger Talk.
Today, we're at the ESPYS in downtown Los Angeles.
In partnership with FanlalaTV. Let's get the party started.
Out of all the NBA veterans here today, who are you guys most forward looking up for? You know? LeBron.
LeBron. He's the,
I haven't heard of that guy.
I was hoping LeBron James would be here. I'm from Cleveland.
I would say LeBron, just because he's one of the greatest players of all time.
I want to meet LeBron James, like pretty much almost every other kid here.
LeBron James.
I hope I see LeBron. I don't even need to meet him, I just want to see him.
I'm just excited to see everyone, maybe even LeBron, because LeBron's the greatest.
It's great out here, you know, just being with each other. And we had a great year last year, and I'm just happy to be with each other, you know, all around.
Obviously, you guys won last season, and what is it like going into next season?
It's a great challenge. I mean, we're all happy to be with each other and going back to work and getting better for the next season. So it should be a good season.
So what was it like winning the national championship and now being in the NBA?
Surreal. The last couple months for me has been a whirlwind. I haven't really had the time to think about it.
I mean, the same thing. It's been a crazy journey. It's been really fun, but now, I mean, we get to do what we love as a job, so it's pretty cool.
What is it like being nominated for an ESPY?
Like I said, it's surreal. The last 3 months have been so crazy for me, and then when I got the nomination for the ESPY, that kind of like capped it off.
I think it's just to jump off what he said. It's pretty surreal. You don't really necessarily play basketball to say I want to win an ESPY. Like, you want to win, and like you just see what winning does. Like, it brings you a lot of opportunities.
So what is it like being, you know, the Make-A-Wish Kid recipient? That must be a great honor.
Yeah, it is a great honor. I mean, everyone's been so nice to me and try to help me in the best way they can, so it's been amazing.
What is it like becoming the Gatorade Athlete of the Year?
It's an amazing honor because the Gatorade Award not only shows your greatness on the field, it also shows what you do in the classroom, what you're doing for your community. It is great to know that I'm one of the premier athletes in my sport on all three aspects of being a student athlete.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest running back to come through the ranks in the future?
I think Shaquan. I think Shaquan going to be pretty good. Also, being that he's in New York, he's going to get all the attention that he needs.
So, David, what was it like winning a gold medal in the 2018 Olympics?
What was it like? It's one of those things that's hard to describe because there's so much intensity that comes to competing in the Olympics, and you have to stay as focused as you possibly can. Your whole goal as an athlete is to not get caught up in what might happen or what has happened last run, but what's happening right now and execute. And then all of a sudden it's over and they're like, here, you won. Here's this thing. And you're like, oh, wow. It's like a state of disbelief. So I still have these two different places in my brain where it's like there was the intensity that gets there and then there's all this craziness afterwards. Being here at the ESPYs to me is kind of an unreal thing. You know, I almost don't believe that this is reality.
What was it like being nominated for Best Driver at the ESPYs?
It's an honor just to be nominated, and it really looks back on, you know, our season last year. We won a championship. I was the first female to do that in 35 years. So it's huge, and tonight I'm just celebrating everything we accomplished last year.
What's it like preparing for a race?
You know, for me, it's, you know, staying active, staying in the gym, working out, eating right. I perform my best when I feel great. So I'm a yoga fan. I'm in the yoga studio all the time working out, and on the road it's tough. You have to, you know, make up your own workouts in hotel rooms and hotel gyms, but we make it work.
How is it trying to step out of your father's footsteps? Like, you're starting to be one of the best drivers in the world, and it seems like you could even be better than your dad.
That's definitely a push. He's done so much for the sport, so many championships. It's just incredible. But to have his support, have his guidance, you know, I'm lucky to have him there, you know, all the way with me. Really, he's taught me everything in the world of motorsports.
What is the hardest challenge going against the best cornerbacks in the game?
Hardest challenge is if they switch up
the defensive game plan that we've been watching in weeks before and then past experience against them.
As an NFL cornerback, what is it like having to adjust to the different offensive schemes of wide receivers?
It's not difficult. It's mostly preparation throughout the week, just studying the scheme, like you said, the tendencies that coaches like to run. You know, every year it's a new team, but if you have the same coaches, you know, you just watch your schemes, what they do on certain down and distances and position in the field. So it starts off Monday, but once you get around Thursday, Friday, it becomes easier.
So coming off of your first Pro Bowl season, what do you think you need to improve on next season?
I could definitely improve on everything. I mean, that's just how I approach the game. You know, you're never perfect. There's always something to get better at. And even something that you've done really well, your opponents are scouting you. So you have to get even better at that. And then come up with countermeasures so you can throw them off guard. So I'll just say my overall game.
How do you strategize for facing a different offensive line every single game?
I dedicate a week to each guy throughout the offseason. Every week, I'm dedicated to one dude. And I'm talking like, I want to know what this guy eats for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what his favorite cartoon show is. Like, I want to know everything about him. So when I get on the field, first of all, I can talk trash to him, mess with him. But secondly, I want to know how he plays the game, man. How did he play when he was in college? How did he play 2 years ago? If he's an older guy, how did he play when he was younger? What is he overcompensating for now? You know what I mean? So that way I can help with how I attack him.
My name's Matthew Royer. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
My name is Benjamin Royer, and I'm also from Los Angeles, California.
That's crazy. They from the same area.
Yeah.
Can you guys introduce yourself too for us?
Yeah, we can. I'm Shaquille Griffin. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida.
I'm Shaquem Griffin, and I'm also from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Well, you guys are from the same place.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Totally insane.
That's weird.
So, how you guys enjoying the red carpet?
It's a great experience, you know, with all these different athletes you get to meet, including you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How do you feel about it?
It's really hot here, but it's awesome being able to meet everyone.
It is pretty hot. We don't have some people got umbrellas out here. We're not fortunate enough to have umbrellas, but it's fine. We get used to the heat.
I wish somebody could hold an umbrella over me. That would be cool, you know, fan me down. But it's cool, you know.
How do it feel to be twins? I always want to know how to feel to have a twin.
Well, it's awesome to be a twin because you're with him every single second of the day. But that's also a blessing and a curse because you're with them every single second of the day.
The best part about being a twin is always, you know, have somebody to lean back on, you know, somebody who gets you and who's also your best friend. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
I
wish I had a twin.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds perfect. I mean, if I had a twin, I would say the same thing.
Being a defensive player in the NFL, how do you adjust to different offensive schemes and strategies?
Well, we typically go over all the strategies and schemes in meetings. So we first watch film and then we get out there and practice it against the scout team whenever I was playing. So we get plenty of reps in at all the things that we see on film that the team has done in the past. And also we pay attention to the coordinators usually and things that they've done with other teams that they may pull up in a game against your scheme and against your team. And one of my favorite players to go against would be Chris Johnson, who later became my teammate. I think his speed was something that kept everybody on edge. And another great running back that I remember playing against and then playing with would be Jamal Lewis. So I really enjoyed playing with him and against him when he was with the Ravens. I always enjoy seeing Layla Ali. Yeah, so I really admire what she had done in women's sports and boxing. Of course, obviously her father being Muhammad Ali. I always have a tremendous amount of respect for his accomplishments, and then to see his daughter go on and do so well in her sport, I think it's pretty cool to see her.
If you have to drop anywhere but tilted, where do you drop?
Ooh, Lucky Landing. I'm a big Lucky Landing fan, man. It's underrated.
Okay, and then there's one thing that people underutilize in Fortnite. What would it be?
That they underutilize?
Yes.
I think that people underutilize the grenade launcher in the right way. The best way to do it is shoot it at max distance so it blows up exactly where you want it to and not have to rely on physics and bouncing around and landing, you know. It gets pretty crazy sometimes, so.
Women's football right now, there's an issue with the wage gap. How do you think that should be fixed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously male and female athletes in general, there's a huge gap in wages. You know, I think especially take soccer for instance, you know, it's improved over the years. I hope that the gap will narrow, but you know, we're making good strides.
What is your mindset going into the playoffs?
You know, it's tough. I think we're in a bit of a tough stretch coming up now. There's about 6 teams fighting for 4 spots. You know, so I think every game that we play now really count. So, you know, we really hope that we're going to finish second to host a home semi-final. But the competition's so hard. I think making the top four is obviously the goal, and as long as we do that, I think we're in a good position.
With this season, the Clippers had to do a whole rehaul of their roster. Do you think the new guards, and well, the whole team is basically guards, do you think the team will work towards the playoffs this season?
Yeah, you know what? I actually like the roster. I think that they will fight for like that last playoff seed like they did this year. I mean, I think if they were healthy this year, they would have made the playoffs. But that's pretty much it. I mean, you're kind of fighting for that 7th or 8th seed at this point. I like Doc as a head coach. I don't like him as a GM. But I do think he'll get the most of this group. If they stay healthy, they'll be fighting for that last playoff seed.
The Lakers seem to be starting to build around LeBron with getting veterans in free agency and also having the young core still on the team.
Yeah.
How do you think that will work towards the regular season?
You know what? So I think what they're going to try to do is just be as competitive as they can this year. It's not a championship team, but I do think it's a team that's going to vie for a top 4 seed, best case scenario. Maybe get to the second round, but when you look at how they're currently constructed, they're not a team that's going to beat the Warriors, not going to beat the Rockets, but they're a very good team. But I like the vets, and if they kind of take on this role of like helping the young players out, I think that'll be a great thing long term for this team.
So with DeMar DeRozan being traded today to the San Antonio Spurs, do you think there's a loyalty problem in the NBA with teams to their players?
I don't think it's a problem. I think it's business, and obviously it's tough when you're with the organization for a long time. It definitely hurts. It's definitely a bitter moment, but I think that fuels a lot of guys. You look at IT, look at DeMarcus, even DeMar is going to feel him, and they're going to do a lot of special things this year. So,
what is the hardest part about being a WWE superstar?
That's easy. The travel and being away from your family. We, like most sports and all these athletes you're going to see, they have an off season. We don't have an off season. We are 52 weeks a year. We're constantly running domestically, and if we're not domestic, we're running globally. So we're always on the road. We're always traveling. We're always in cars. We're always in planes. So it can be a bit rough, but it's an acquired taste.
Oh, we love this. It's exciting. For 10 years I was on ESPN doing fitness morning shows, so it's great to be back.
Yes, and for me personally, it's really special because this is actually my 4th ESPYS, but this is the first time that I've actually got to walk the carpet as a sports host. So I did sports hosting the past year and a half, and so it's a really cool experience actually being a sports host here.
I'm Matthew Royer.
I'm Benjamin Royer,
And this has been Twinger Talk.